What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. Alright, so we're going to start this one off with an update from a competitor that I actually never heard of until today. This guy goes on Instagram by Livinhopro, or maybe it's Livinhopro. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but let me give you the lowdown on this guy. He turned pro in September 2022 at the Muscle Contest Amateur Olympia. He competes in Classic Physique, and he will be making his pro debut at the Arnold Classic South America. And this guy has one of the smallest waists that I've ever seen in Classic Physique. But at the same time, he really has that illusion of having a small waist because his shoulders are just so wide. You look at him from the back, he's got a very, very wide back, very developed lats. He's got huge quads at the same time, and that really gives him that, well, even further illusion. And with all of that, he also has extremely good flow from top to bottom. So this is a guy that I think can do very, very well in the Classic Physique division. And in an era of Classic Physique where we are seeing a guy like Wesley Vissers really beginning to set a new standard in the division, a competitor like this still does represent that new era of classic competitors and just how relevant these physiques still are in the division. So this is going to be a very exciting pro debut. I think this guy can do very, very well in the pro division, and you guys let me know in the comments below what you think of Livinhopro. And listen, if you guys know his actual real name, please let me know in the comments below. But this is a guy, like I said, that I think is going to do very well. Alright, so next up, I wanted to talk about Goodvito here. We do have a physique update from Goodvito, and this is another guy that's competing in the Arnold Classic South America coming up. And you know, there's no question, Goodvito, I would probably crown as the king of the goon light. He seems to be able to find it pretty much anywhere. And this physique update is very impressive. We do see very impressive physique updates from Goodvito on Instagram. But you know, that's the thing about Goodvito. Up until this point, we have not seen him on a pro stage. He is untested in the pro league. The Arnold South America will be his pro debut, and as of right now, I really have to consider Goodvito, I really think, an Instagram bodybuilder. And it has been very well established for quite some time, basically since he's got his pro card in the pro league, that this is someone with a ton of potential. But until we really see that physique on stage standing toe-to-toe with the best in the world, as far as I'm concerned right now, I really don't know how well he's going to do. I mean, just look at the lineup coming up here that Goodvito's going to have to go up against. We've got Rafael Brandao, Tonio Burton, Beirut Tabani, Carlos Thomas Jr. will be competing in this show. How can a guy like Goodvito really stack up against some of these names in bodybuilding? And the answer is, we have no idea, because Instagram does not tell us the full story. And we've seen this before with guys like Regan Grimes. Even after Regan started competing really heavily, he still didn't quite nail it on stage. And he was still dubbed an Instagram bodybuilder basically up until, well, the 2023 season, when he did start showing up with that better conditioning. And that's basically where I have to stand with Goodvito as of right now. Yeah, these physique updates are very impressive. These pictures are very impressive. But it is a universal truth in bodybuilding that Instagram does not always translate over to the stage. And if I was to bet right now, I would say that's exactly what's going to happen with Goodvito. I do want to see him nail it on stage. I want to see him be the bodybuilder that we all think he can be. But as of right now, I mean, I would think that he would maybe take 5th place behind all of these guys, Rafael, Tonio, Beirut, and Carlos Thomas Jr., and I don't even know who else is showing up here yet. So the insane vascularity and the detail in the quads that we're seeing in some of these physique updates from Goodvito, I will not let these things fool me as of yet. And I hope these looks do translate over to the stage. But listen, you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Is Goodvito the real deal? Will we see this look translate over to the stage? Or are we looking at another Instagram bodybuilder? Alright, next up, we have an update here from Nick Walker at 8 weeks out of his attempt to win his second New York Pro title. Now look, let's just get this out of the way. Whatever's happening on the right side of Nick Walker's body just above his pec, I'm assuming has to do with some sort of therapy or recovery. There's no injury happening there or anything like that, you guys. So let's just get that out of the way. Now, as for how he's looking at 8 weeks out, that signature conditioning, I think is coming in. If Nick didn't have that, I mean, for him, it would be absolutely game over. Nick, that is his calling card, without a doubt. I mean, it would be like if Nick Walker showed up with, you know, smaller arms. It just wouldn't work. He needs to have that razor sharp conditioning. In this back shot that he posted here, he looks absolutely perfectly balanced in this shot. The hamstring does look good here. I know that he is kind of favoring that hamstring just to make sure that he doesn't re-injure it. I heard that on one of his recent YouTube videos, but he does look to be absolute perfection from the back. The balance is there from upper body to lower body. It doesn't look like his upper body is particularly overpowering his legs. You can see the thickness and the roundness to the triceps. I mean, of course, Nick's got one of the widest backs in the game. The calves, everything is there. Nick has fantastic back shots. I don't see anybody defeating Nick in those back shots. Now, in terms of this front shot here, Nick does look like he's dialing in, like I said. The upper body looks just as good as ever. I think that he has put on more size in that upper body. But when it comes to proportion from the upper body to the lower body, it does still look like there's a bit of a discrepancy between the legs. The legs still just look undersized. As much as I do think Nick put on some more size in the legs, in this picture at least, maybe it's just the angle, I'm not exactly sure. And when it does come to that discrepancy between size in the upper body and the lower body, part of it is just genetic for Nick, and this is something that I've talked about before. You can see it when it comes to the outer quad sweep. The hip tie-in is just a little bit lower on the leg than what we see from other competitors that really do have those round sweeping quads, and there's really not a lot that Nick can do about that. I do think that the legs have put on some more overall size, but do I think it's enough to really show that balance that we've been looking for from Nick Walker? As of right now, with this picture, I don't think that we're seeing it. Now, with that being said, Nick Walker still is the front runner in the eyes of the fans for the New York Pro, and if he does show up with this package and that razor sharp conditioning, I mean, there's no getting around it. Nick is going to be very, very difficult to defeat. Most people say it's impossible for anybody to come in and defeat Nick Walker, including Tony O'Burton. But think about this, you guys. We just saw Wesley Vissers come in and defeat Ramon Dino, who was exactly 5 places higher than Wesley Vissers at the 2023 Olympia. Nick finished 3rd at the 2022 Olympia. Tonio took 8th at the 2023 Olympia. I'm just saying, take that into consideration, and you guys let me know in the comments below what you think of this physique update of Nick Walker at 8 weeks out, and do you think that this really is a slam dunk decision on Nick Walker taking home that New York Pro title? Anyway, that's it for me in this video, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.